Hello and welcome to another edition of Geffen Digital Signage videos. My name is Jason Fitzgerald and I am the product manager for the digital signage products here at Geffen. What I wanted to show you today was a multi-layered interactive project. So the DSC we already know is a versatile device. We have the ability to create multi-screen applications, pull in live dynamic assets, but we can also create interactive content. So the USB port that's located on the hardware can be utilized to connect a touchscreen, a keyboard, or mouse. Really any HID compliant device we can plug into the DSC and then utilize for interactivity. So let's go ahead and take a look at the interactive project that we're going to be using today. And in this case, it's a bank ATM style interactive kiosk project. So I'm going to open up the index file, which is again our master file. It's what our box is really reading back. And as you can see here, the main screen, I've got a video playing. We got a please press the screen at any time to begin. And right now I can't interact with this. I can manipulate this like I would be when I create a project, but what we want to do is we want to test this application. And to do that, we need to enable the interactive mode, located up here in the toolbar. Once I do that, you'll notice all my bounding boxes have disappeared, and I can begin interacting with this project. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to press anywhere on the screen here, and it's going to take me to my first sublayer. Right, well, here I've got a number of different buttons here, which will allow me to view my balance, make a deposit, withdraw cash, or even exit back to that first looping video that I was showing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the balance. Let's click on this button here, and that'll take me to another sublayer where it's showing me my current balance of £1 million, which is a nice sum of money. Now, this value is actually being pulled from a CSV or a database style file, which you can see here inside of my browser section. All right, the CSV, or a comma-separated file, functions kind of like a database file. It was created in a spreadsheet application, and as you can see, it is residing inside of my project right now. So when this project gets uploaded to the DSC box, that file will go along with it. Now, what you're going to find is because the DSC can pull dynamic content, we're going to be able to place this CSV file in another location. Maybe, for example, a location where I have access to modify it, and the DSC can also read from it. All right. In that case, we can then live modify this file and have this DSC or multiple digital signage creator boxes out in the field update their content at the same time. And we'll take a look at that a little bit later. So I'm going to click Done and dive back up a layer, and my next option here, of course, is, let's see, make a deposit. I'm going to click on that button here. This is going to take me to another sub-menu where it's going to tell me I can insert up to 10 checks into the slot, and there's a little timeout function here. Now this is combining, for example, a countdown clock timer, which is one of the templates that are built into the software, and when this reaches 0, we're going to have the well, it's going to automatically take us back to the previous menu. So we're using a couple of different functions here. So we have full control to set up automatic loopbacks. We can use those buttons to, of course, dive into layers. And there we go, it dived right back out. The next option here, we have withdraw cash. Let's go ahead and click on that. And here we've got a whole bunch of options to either pull out £20, £40, 60, even an other specified amount. So again, we're diving into another sublayer here. Now these values that you see can all be manipulated from this same database file, or this data.csv file. So when I manipulate information inside of here, I can then of course change these values. And again, we'll show you this here in a moment. So if I click on, for example, let's say the £40 here, it's going to give me another timeout window here to 10 seconds to pull up my cash, which is kind of a short amount of time, but I didn't want to make it too long for this demonstration. And there we go, and it's going to take me, of course, back to my main screen. So once I'm done here, I can go ahead and click exit. This will tell me thank you for banking with us. Basically, this also has a timeout that you can't see, and then it's going to loop back to our intro screen. So again, we looked at a multi-layered project, which has the sub-levels with different options. We can, of course, those buttons that we were using, and I'll go ahead and cycle back into the project, we can, of course, make these whatever we want. In this case, these are static images, right, which are all located inside of my artwork folder here. We can, of course, make these video or full motion video files to act as buttons. Any media asset that the DSC can use, images, videos, we can also, of course, use them as buttons in an interactive type of project. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at this data.csv file, which is hosting information that we're seeing when we view the balance or when we try to withdraw the cash, all the values of the different cash amounts. So the first thing we need to do is let's go ahead and let's dive into the withdraw cash option so we can see these values. And what I already have open is a spreadsheet application with these values. So as you can see here, I've got a couple of column headers. For example, the balance here, which is giving me the value for 1 million, and the different amounts that you're seeing here on screen. Now, since this file is actually this file over here, the data.csv file, any changes I make to this will automatically be shown here inside of our application. So let's go ahead and change the value. So instead of, let's say, maybe 20 pounds, let's go ahead and change this to, let's say, 1,000 pounds. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to go ahead and get a warning about, of course, this being a CSV file. It doesn't carry options. Oh, look at that. Already changed. Let's go ahead and change another value here. Let's go ahead and say instead of 60, let's go 6,000. Again, save. And go ahead and click yes here. And just like that, it's already been updated. Now, how does this all work? Well, our values here are actually being populated inside of a news template. Now, the news template is typically used for pulling in RSS feeds, but an RSS feed is a dynamic asset. In this case, we're using it just to read off of this database list. So let's find that template file. So I'm going to dive into my menus, and I've got nice subfolders here, which cleanly go ahead and I have organized all of my different sublayers here. Let's go to withdraw, which is what this is. And this amounts data template file is the file being used to source out this information. Like I said, it is a news template file. What we have here is options for this template. For example, we have an RSS feed source. In this case, we're simply pointing it to the location of our CSV file. And right now it's pointing to this file inside of our project. Now, because, like I said, the DSC is dynamic or can pull dynamic content, we can of course change this. If, let's say, our CSV file is located on a server, for example, if this is located on one of my servers, like we were looking at earlier or in a previous demo here, I can go ahead and put that location directly into this feed source location, and it'll then go ahead and search out that file. So what this means is if I have this file in a location where I have access to it and the DSC has access to it, I can live modify simply by going into some simple interface like this spreadsheet application. So at the end of the day, what we talk about with projects like this is who's going to be managing it. For example, some people obviously will not want to dive into this software to manage that content, but most people are very familiar with working with an application like a spreadsheet document, and having this kind of interface where they can simply modify values here and have it automatically uploaded on the DSC is a perfect example of custom interfaces. So that about wraps up this video talking about a couple of different things. A multi-layered interactive project, taking a brief look at modifying content in our actual project and on the boxes from something as simple as a spreadsheet application or a spreadsheet document. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.